Hi guys, I hope this is working. This is going to be take number 4 of video vlog number 1 on packing for Disney World. If this doesn't work, I'm just not meant to do this today, and I will just accept the universe's notes and move on. I'm going to do this as quickly as I can, but it's still going to be a long vlog, so please get comfortable, get a cold beverage, get a hot beverage, get a snack, go potty, do whatever you need to do, because when I get going about Disney World, it's a long haul. It's a long haul. Okay, I'm hoping this is working, because if this isn't working, I might just start crying. This trip that we have coming up in like 22 days marks about my 50th trip, if not my 50th exactly, pretty darn close to my 50th trip. And I have packed for every single situation you could probably think of a person packing for. I've packed as a single chick, I've packed for a couple, I've packed for a honeymoon, I've packed for an infant, I've packed her being pregnant, I have packed for a toddler and an infant, I've packed for 2 toddlers, I have packed for preschoolers, I have packed for first graders, second graders, and an almost third grader. I've packed, and I continually pack for a special needs child. I've rented strollers, I've brought strollers, I've brought double strollers, umbrella strollers, Bjorn's backpacks, diaper bags, backpacks into the park, fanny packs. I will only admit that once. You've never heard me say that. Don't you share that with anybody. So packing, I know something about. And I'm not saying that I'm always good at it, because there was that one trip that I completely forgot to pack for my poor husband. Nothing. I packed him nothing. Poor guy. I don't know why he's still married to me. We literally went to Disney World for 7 days, and I packed nothing for him, because I was so focused on packing for myself and making sure I had all the supplies for the children. He got left out. He was not happy with me. So Disney World is, in the respect of packing, not unlike any other vacation that you might take. All the traditional things need to go in your bag: socks, underwear, shirts, pants, shorts, shoes. The difference with Disney World is that it is not a relaxing vacation. There is a lot of walking. There's a lot of you're outdoors almost all day long. So you need to pack for elements, I suppose. You need to pack shoes that are really comfortable. I don't ever recommend breaking in shoes in Disney World. That's a total rookie mistake, and one that I hope none of you will ever make. Nor do I ever recommend wedges, pumps, heels, kitten heels, flats, flip-flops, sneakers. I always pack a couple pairs of Converse low tops. That's what I wander around the park in. I will pack the occasional really comfortable canvas slip-ons like Vans. Those work well as well. But really, seriously, go for comfort. Don't go for fashion show. Don't go for beauty. Go for comfort, because you will cover between 7 and 18 miles every day. We average about 13 to 15 miles every day, but we've pushed it up to as many as 18 miles, depending on how much you want to get done in one day. So definitely pack a couple pairs of shoes, and pack really comfortable shoes. Everybody always, and I am guilty of this, we all go on vacation and we don't want to leave our workout routine behind, but know that you are going to be very tired at the end of the day, so you might really want to skip. I always bring my running sneakers and my workout gear, and it usually sits collecting dust. It doesn't get used. You'll get plenty of exercise walking around the parks, trust me. Some of the other things that you need to know about packing for Disney that are different than another vacation is that there's nothing really formal in Disney World. There are a couple formal restaurants, but you'll see packing lists that tell you to pack a suit and dress shoes and a dress, and don't. Please don't. You really don't need them. There's one restaurant off the top of my head that I can come up with that you need to be dressy for, and that's Victoria and Albert's in the Grand Floridian. Beyond that, everything else is t-shirt, jeans, totally casual. You'll see people in restaurants sitting eating in baseball caps, which makes me crazy, but that's another vlog for another day. Casual all the way around. So don't pack anything special or unusual, or, if you're going in the summer, pack for the dire heat. Pack for really, really hot weather. It gets to be hotter than the surface of the sun down there. One of the things that you will find in the months that we're coming into now are they have really strong flash storms. They're incredibly, they're like deluges. It's like having a bucket of water dumped over your head for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then it's gone. And they're usually thunderstorms. They're usually very powerful, forceful thunderstorms. So I recommend going to your dollar store or your convenience store or CVS or Target or any of those places, Walmart, and getting those rain ponchos that they sell there for like $1 or $2, or even the dollar store, or Five Below, or any of those places have rain ponchos. Because in Disney World, you'll pay like $8 or $9 for a rain poncho, and that's kind of absurd. We have them. I have rain ponchos that we've taken down probably the last 10 trips that have never gotten used. Just because by the time we get them out of the wrapping, the storm's gone. And I always tend to carry umbrellas in my bag because I don't wear hats. So umbrellas are usually our choice of cover. And we run inside and, that kind of stuff. So I have a list here of stuff that I'm going to run down for you. And I will sort of give my commentary in between things. So get comfy because this is not going to be short. First is address books, stamps, and pre-addressed labels for postcards. This is not something that you would typically bring on a normal vacation, but some families really like to send back postcards to grandmothers, grandfathers, aunts, uncles. I always go down there with the delusion that I'm going to send postcards back to my kids' classrooms, to their teachers. And I have gone down with address books and stamps, and then I've looked at the price of the postcards, and I'm like, everybody's on crack. I'm not buying a postcard to send back. I'll beat it home. So that's really at your discretion. If you feel like you want to send a postcard home, just make sure that you bring everybody's address and stamps and that kind of stuff. But it's not like you're going to Bora Bora. You're going to Disney World. So, but again, totally personal preference. Some people like to collect character autograph books. They like to collect character autographs. So an autograph book, and it could be anything. It doesn't have to be a specific autograph book. It can be a notebook, a piece of paper. Some people have done, I've seen picture frames or pillowcases, T-shirts. All they ask is that you have a fat Sharpie pen so that the characters can grab it with their paws, as it were. And I've seen now that they're doing retractable Sharpies, so that you don't even have to worry about taking off lids and losing lids and getting ink all over Mickey Mouse's white gloves or anything like that. It's just so if that's something that you're interested in, I advise you to buy something like that beforehand. You can even check eBay to see, or look on the internet to see if somebody's selling them discounted, because they're pretty expensive in the park. Camera, film, batteries, video camera. Yes, 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 and yes. Absolutely. You will take more pictures in Disney World than you anticipate taking, because every Disney vacation is very different than the last one, and the first one is always the most special. But every Disney vacation is kind of a milestone, or a moment in time that you won't get back ever again. So I find myself snapping a lot of pictures of our kids, because you'd be surprised at how quickly they grow in between trips, even if it's only 6 months between trips, as this one is for us. So yes, if you have backup discs, if you have backup cards, memory cards, whatever you use in your camera, and backup batteries for your camera and camcorder, definitely bring them, because you will use them, absolutely. Cash and credit cards, yeah, that kind of goes without saying, right? It's Disney World, you're going to spend money. Disney guidebook and notes. Yes, absolutely. If this is your first trip, I highly recommend going out and grabbing a Birnbaum's or an unofficial guide to Disney World, or even just doing your homework online. There are wonderful, wonderful websites out there. My favorite one, and the one I always send everybody to, is allears.net. allears.net. And she has the most amazing, comprehensive website for anything you could possibly want to know Disney-wise. The other place I send people to is the Disney Food Blog. They have all of the menus and all the restaurants and restaurant reviews and things like that. Another really good one is mousesavers.com. That's really good. There's also the DIS boards, the DIS boards, DIS, BOARDS. So what I'm telling you is do your homework. There's plenty of information out there. You don't have to go out and buy a guidebook. But if it's your first trip, or if you're not familiar with Disney World, or you're not comfortable walking around the parks, you're not exactly sure where everything is, have a game plan. Have a flexible game plan going in. Pick 4 or 5 rides in every park that you cannot leave without seeing. Maybe even 2 or 3 that you can't leave without seeing. Things that you need to see in that day on that trip. And make sure you're flexible, but definitely plan, because you will, I don't want to say you're going to miss anything, because there's so much stuff to see. Even now, almost 50 trips in, there's still stuff that I have not seen. There are parades, moments, events going on around the park all the time that I've never seen. So you can go to Disney World a zillion times and never see everything. But but it helps to plan. It helps to know where you're going. It helps if you know what you're looking for, if you know what you're doing, if you have a plan of attack. Know that there are some people, if you get there early, and I'll do a whole nother vlog on just tips for the park, but real quick, let me get this out. There are people that at rope drop will literally run through the park to get to fast passes. Please, please don't be those people. I have to get this off now. I hate those people. Like I said, I'll get into planning your days in the park in another vlog, but back to this list. So yes, guidebook and notes are good. Driver's license and photo ID, always good to carry around the parks with you anyway. Duffel bag or suitcase for souvenirs. I always laugh at this one, just because we go so much that my kids are kind of souvenired out, and they always get a little something, but we don't go home with nearly enough stuff now to pack up in a suitcase. But if it's your first or second trip, or your kids are still itty bitties, or you have a lot of people to shop for, absolutely. A backup duffel bag is a lifesaver. It's a wonderful thing to have because you will be surprised at how much room those little things take up in your suitcase when your suitcase has been packed to the gills and stuffed full. And so yes, an extra duffel bag is always a good thing. Emergency numbers and contacts from home. You should probably already have those programmed into your cell phone or your smart whatever. Your first aid kit and pain relievers. Yes, yes, and yes. I have two different styles of first aid kit. First is the one that I pack that's got fuller size things that need to be hanging around the room, like Pepto-Bismol, Imodium AD, Tylenol. I keep a thermometer for grown-ups and for little guys. I have more topical things, things for rashes, Vicks, Vapor Rub, that kind of stuff. I'm a chronic overpacker, and I tend to pack for every situation that might arise, and so far it has served me well because I've actually needed some of the stuff that I've packed on some of the trips. And then I have one that I carry in the parks in a small, like a makeup case, and it's got Band-Aids and Neosporin and Tylenol and allergy medication, Imodium AZ, Pepto-Bismol tablets, you know, the little things to carry, the alcohol wipes, that kind of stuff, the Tylenol for the kids, anything that you think you might need for scrapes, liquid bandage. I've got blister block in there. So, like I said, I have two emergency kits, and if you don't bring them, you will absolutely need them. And each park has a first aid station, and your Disney hotel we've been sick down there more times than I care to rehash, but if for some reason somebody gets sick or hurt seriously, there are options, there are places you can go to, things you can do. Again, I will get into those in another vlog, but yes, definitely pack a small first aid kit with boo-boo stuff, you know, stuff for things that you might need while you're walking around the park. Gum. Disney World does not sell gum. Anywhere on property, you won't find it sold anywhere. You will find mints. Lousy mints, not very strong mints at all, in Mickey tins that will charge you $4 or $5 for a thing of mints, but no gum. So if you chew gum, if you're a gum chomper, please bring your own, but I will kill you. I will hunt you down and find you if I find out that you've stuck your gum anywhere but in a garbage can. If you leave your gum on Main Street, if you stick it underneath a bench or a table, I will hunt you down and find you, because that's a big no-no. You have to be respectful and kind if you're going to be chewing gum. Hat. Yes, absolutely. Even I, who do not wear hats ever at all, you will never ever see a hat on my head aside from maybe a small pillbox or a fascinator. Insist that everybody else in my family wear hats. That's why I carry an umbrella. That's my shade. But yes, my kids wear hats, my husband wears hats. A definite must. Your health insurance card, I would hope that you have this on you anyway. Insect repellent. I've never needed insect repellent. I know that there are people that use it all the time, no matter what. I don't really think it's necessary, but if you feel better bringing it, great, bring it. Purse-sized Kleenex, the little Kleenex that go in your bag. Laundry. If you plan on doing any sort of laundry down there, I suggest that you bring quarters and bring your own detergent if you can. They sell those little things of the Tide travel packs, or whatever you use, and softener sheets and stuff like that, and a laundry bag as well, because it's going to be a pain in your butt. Doing laundry down there is a pain in the butt, no doubt about it, not even a question. You need to take your room key with you to get to the laundry rooms, and then it takes about 3 or 4 hours to do, 2 to 3 hours to do laundry, with the going back and forth, and the dryers aren't free, and machines aren't free, and if you can avoid doing it, I highly recommend avoiding it. lip balm with sunscreen. You would be surprised at how you slather sunscreen everywhere, but you always forget about your lips. And they have a tendency to get sunburned. I have had them sunburned. I know that it happens, and I know it hurts. Water misting fans. The battery operated fans with spray. Those are wonderful if you're going in the warmer months, and it's starting to creep up now. It's starting to get, like today I think it's in the high 80s. Tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 90s. The water misting fans they look like a water bottle, but they're battery operated and they have a fan that sprays mist on you, and some of them have lanyards around your neck. They're really, really wonderful at cooling off when you're standing in line, when you're hot, when you're cranky. You can purchase them in the park. Disney does sell them for about $18 a bottle. So I went on Amazon and I bought mine for $8 a piece. You may even be able to find them cheaper than that at Walmart or Target or the dollar store or one of those places. Moleskin and other foot fixers. As I said, you will be walking a lot in Disney World. There is much hoofing it everywhere. You will be on your feet a lot. You will be standing in line a lot. And blisters do occur. And foot, ailments do happen. So it's always nice to have moleskin or blister block or Band-Aids. I really, really love the liquid bandage. I usually kind of swipe some of it on the back of my kids' heels even before we leave the hotel room for the parks. That way I know that there's going to be no blisters, nothing like that. Little preemptive strike there. Plane tickets. Really? You're kind of a schmuck if you forget your plane tickets. Playing cards and travel games, if that's something that you like, great, bring them. We are not a playing card or travel game family. Quick story, I did bring bubbles at one point to keep the kids occupied online. And I got yelled at by somebody who apparently had an allergy to soap detergent or to latex bubbles, or I don't know what her problem was, but she was yelling at me that she had an allergy to the bubble solution and I had to stop blowing it. So I guess it all depends on how conscious you are of everybody around you, and know that you are being surrounded by all walks of life, all, ethnic backgrounds, so yeah, I guess you should, whatever, take that for what it's worth. Prescriptions, yes, absolutely. Bring your own prescriptions, please, please, please. If you forget your prescriptions for some crazy reason, it has happened to us, or we've had to have prescriptions filled down there because of sick children that had scarlet fever, which I thought was completely eradicated, and apparently is not on more than one occasion. There is a place that Disney has where a doctor can fax a prescription to them. They will fill it. It's a pharmacy. They will fill it and they will deliver it to the hotel for you. So there is an option for prescriptions should you happen to forget that bottle of pills sitting on the counter or whatever as you're leaving your house. All is not lost if that is the case, but it's just so much easier to just remember your prescriptions, so please bring them. Proof of auto insurance for car rental. We never rent a car, so I cannot speak to this, but I suppose if you're renting a car, you would want to bring your auto insurance as well as your AAA or your AARP card if that applies to you. Rain ponchos and umbrellas. Yes, I spoke to you earlier about those little flash deluges that they have, and if you're on my Facebook page, you can go and look at any of my old Disney pictures, and at least somewhere in my trip I have photos of dark storm clouds gathering overhead that signal the imminent dumping of lots of water and thunder and lightning on you quickly. So we have, like I said, we have ponchos. I never use them. Whatever. Reservation number for check-in. Yes, please. This should go along with your plane ticket and your insurance and everything else that you need to travel. Reservation number for check-in. If you forget it, don't have a cow because Disney has it for you, but it just makes everything easier if you have it. It doesn't make you look like a dope. Safety pins and sewing kit. Safety pins are good for everything from clipping on in case I get lost tag onto your child to holding a sweater around your neck to, I don't know what else do you use safety pins for, closing a bag shut, I don't know. Safety pins are just good for everything. Sewing kit I've never brought because if it breaks or it rips or it tears, I usually throw it out while we're down there. I don't have any interest in sewing anything up. Shoes, I spoke to you about shoes. Comfortable walking shoes. If you know that you're going to be going on something like Kali River Rapids or Splash Mountain or somewhere where you might get wet, I suggest a Ziploc bag in your carry-on, in your park bag, with a pair of Crocs or some sort of similar water shoes or rubber shoes or jelly sandals or something like that. Slip those on right before you get on the ride. Put your sneakers in the Ziploc bag so that your shoes stay dry because nobody likes walking around in wet shoes, do they? I know I don't. If you're bringing a stroller or you're renting a stroller, know that you are completely and totally not alone. And often you will come out of a ride, you will park your stroller somewhere, you will come out of a ride and it won't be where you left it. Don't panic. It means that a cast member has probably rolled it off to another area or moved it or shuffled it around. They often do this to make room for other strollers and to sort of make things make sense. If you go to AC Moore, Target, Walmart, Michael's, buy really brightly colored neon kind of ribbon, tie the ribbon in a bow onto the handle of your stroller in a very obvious place, in a very visible place, you will be able to pick your stroller out of a crowd quickly. Don't think about tying a balloon onto the stroller and that will separate you from everybody else, because you are not alone in doing that. Everybody does that. So yeah. Sunglasses. Yes. Even for little guys, sunglasses are good. My little guys both have their own pair of Lightning McQueen sunglasses that we take down with us. That sun gets awfully strong, especially in the summer months, and sunglasses make them feel cool, look cool, be cool. Sunscreen. I would rather forget every single pair of underwear that I needed to pack and remember to pack my sunscreen. It is that important to me. Sunscreen, the sun down there is deceptively hot, and nothing ruins a vacation faster than sunburn. So please, I just got, and I'll show this to you as I do my packing video, but I just got a new sunscreen for your scalp. It's a dry sunblock that you can spray on your scalp, which is awesome. Because in the past, I'm not saying this has happened to me, but I know people that have had sunburned scalps. Yeah. So I've gone trips where I have successfully thwarted the sun on every single other part of my body and wound up with a sunburned scalp. So yeah, consider, if you're not going to wear a hat, or you don't like hats, or you think your head's going to be out in the sun, consider spraying some of this spray-on sunblock where your scalp, where your part is, or just, you know, all over your scalp. Top of the ears is good too. That's another place that gets really, really burned that nobody ever thinks of. Sweatshirt or jacket for cooler weather. Yes, it gets not cold by any stretch of the imagination at night, but it can go down into the low 70s, high 60s, and compared to the temperature of the day, that can often feel very chilly. If it's been in the 80s or 90s during the day and it's dropping down to the 70s at night, that's a big temperature change, and you can feel cold, deceptively cold. So I always like to have a little windbreaker or a sweatshirt with me, both for me and the kids. Tote bag or backpack. Yes, you will need to have carrying stuff around the park. You will need to have a tote bag or a backpack to carry your accoutrements, as it were, around the park. Please don't get a fanny pack, because I will have to disown you. Traveler's checks. If you are coming from overseas and you don't feel comfortable carrying cash, or you can't find a cash exchange, Disney accepts traveler's checks. Yes. Wet wipes, antibacterial gel. Yes, 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 and yes. Next to sunblock, this is probably the most important thing I bring down. I think I read that Disney, the Magic Kingdom capacity is something like 100,000 people, and I'll have to double check this. But think about all the hands that are touching everything that you are touching. Get on and off a ride. There are people that have been on and off it a million times before you. Open a door. There have been people that have opened that same door a million times before you. A lot of people don't care about, you know, hygiene the way we do. A lot of people go down to Disney World sick. My big guy, his first trip, he was 9 months old. He wound up with pink eye because we were in Disney World and a million other people had touched the things that his little 9-month-old hand had touched, or that my big mommy hand had touched and then wiped his eyes. So wet wipes and antibacterial gel. Ziploc bags are awesome in Disney World. They're good for everything. On the water rides, you put shoes in them, you put cameras in them, camcorders. You can put you can put park maps in there. You can put a change of clothing, a white bathing suit. Numerous things can go into a Ziploc bag. They are extremely handy all over the park. Some of the other things that I've read about that are good to take with you are soft drink lids or cupcake liners for popsicles, in order to hold off drips, because everybody loves popsicles. Mickey bars are my favorite. But my son loves to eat something called an It's a Kadoozy, which is that big long spiral, like a sorbet bar. And it always gets all over me. It's always covered in green and red and orange and yellow, you know, fruit colors. So the lid from a soft drink cup, you know, like the kind you get at a fast food restaurant, you know, like McDonald's, the lid with the X in the middle, you know what I'm talking about, right? You flip it upside down so that the lip is facing up, and it acts as a drip stopper for My God, popsicles, jeez! Or Cupcake Liner does the same thing, but is a little more flimsy, so you might want to, I would go with the soft drink lids. If you are finding that Disney food is too rich for your blood, too expensive, not what you thought it was going to be, consider bringing your own lunch into the park. That's totally fine. An insulated lunch bag, that might be something nice for you to carry around. I know a lot of people carry lunch around the parks. They carry snacks around the parks, and I don't want them to get hot. So an insulated lunch bag is definitely something good to have. I have never done it myself because my children are spoiled brats and they love Disney food and they know exactly where they need to go to get their snacks. So I could not sway them with any other food other than, you know, what's already there. A lanyard that goes around your neck with an ID, a badge holder, is a good idea for your fast passes, your park pass, your ID, your keys to the kingdom. It's just kind of nice to have everything right there in front of you. In Disney World, I never ever hear my phone ring. Ever. My bag is with me all the time. It's either in my lap, on my shoulder, and I never hear my cell phone ring. So somebody suggested a cell phone pouch that loops around the handle of your bag so that it's closer to the top. You can find it quicker. You can hear it better. Power strips for your hotel room are another thing that have been suggested to me. If you've got multiple appliances that need to be plugged in, like I have my laptop, I have my digital camera, I have my video camera, my husband will have his iPad, we'll have the Kindle, you know, the kids have iPhones, and everything needs to be charged up at once. So a power strip will allow everything to be charged at once with no fighting over who's getting the battery charging next. Things that you may need to pack. This is just a quick breakdown of the lists of ideas. I will run through them quickly. Medical and health items. Aloe or after sun lotion. I've never used this before. If it's something that you think you want, by all means bring it. Antacids, yes. Antibacterial lotion, I discussed that with you. Aspirin or other pain reliever. I always have acetaminophen and ibuprofen, and the same for the children, along with allergy medicines and stomach medicines, Imodium AD, Pepto-Bismol, that kind of stuff. Band-Aids, yes. If you wear contact lenses, please don't forget to pack your contact lenses and your solution. Dental floss, if you need it, it's always good to have in your bag. Eyeglasses in case. Kleenex, I discussed that with you. Lip balm, discussed it with you. Prescription medicine, told you about it. Moleskin nail clipper, Q-tips, shampoo and soap. The hotel has perfectly adequate and actually lovely shampoo and soap. So if there's not a specific brand that you care about, you don't have colored hair, you don't have a specific kind of shampoo that you're married to, don't bother packing it. Just use the Disney stuff. And you can always ask Mousekeeping for more. Toothbrush and toothpaste. And then the stuff that you might want to pack in your bag while you're going around the parks. I know a lot of people will tell you, oh, just bring, you know, consider renting a locker at the beginning of the day, and then you can just stick everything in there. I've never done that because it seems incredibly impractical to me. The lockers are always at the beginning of whatever park you're going into. Magic Kingdom, they're underneath the railway. Epcot, they're to your right, I believe, as you come in. Same with MGM Hollywood Studios. And Animal Kingdom, they are also to your right. Right after you come through the turnstiles. So if you are halfway across the park, or you're at the other end of the park and you decide, gosh, I'm chilly, or gosh, I need X, Y, and Z out of my bag, you have to hoof it all the way back across the park, grab whatever it is you needed, and then go all the way back. It just seems to me like a lot of work for whatever that item is, when you can just have it with you. What we do with our family is everybody has their own bag. I carry, in my bag I have a camera, video camera, umbrellas, first aid kit, and then in my husband's bag, and a bottle of water for me, along with some other stuff that I'll mention in a second. And then in my husband's bag, he's got all the chargers, he's got a hat for himself, he's got water bottles for the two kids. Well, that's going to change now. He's got water bottles for himself. He's got all the dining reservations and everything else that we might need there. And the kids both have a backpack with a snack. Oh, he's also got the ponchos in his backpack too. Yeah, and the kids have snacks, water bottles, baseball caps, sunglasses, rain ponchos for themselves. In my bag, I have, what do I have? Oh, and the kids also have the Mr. Fans around their necks. I have my bottle of water, I have my camera, I have my cell phone. I have a flashlight for Little Lion because some of the scary dark rides are scary to him. And the flashlight was actually an idea that was given to me last trip by a cast member who, upon hearing Brian rail against going on Snow White, handed him a flashlight and said that that would keep him safe, and he loved it. It made him feel secure. It made him happy that he could, shine the light into the corners and see that there was actually nothing there, that it was okay. So I always have a mini flashlight with me. My only hesitation with a flashlight is you need to make sure that your children are conscious and considerate to other guests around them. And please don't let them shine them all over the ride or in the air or in anybody's face. If they have the flashlight on the ride, make sure it's pointed down so that it doesn't disrupt anybody else's ride. Hats, I told you everybody carries a hat but me. Jacket for cool mornings or evenings. Frozen juice drinks. We don't carry frozen juice drinks, but what we do is I usually put I fill everybody's water bottles up the morning, the night before. I stick them in the fridge, and we turn the fridge up as cold as it can go. And the usually comes out like a crushed ice kind of slushy thing. So we stick those in the bag, and then my husband goes to the water cooler, the ice machine, and he fills up a big, it's like a 24-ounce refillable water bottle with ice, so that there's always cool ice, cool water. The other thing that I do put in my bag at the beginning of the day, along the same vein, is I soak a wet washcloth in rubbing alcohol, and I soak one in water. Stick that in the fridge. Stick that in my bag, and we then have a cool thing to wash our faces with and that kind of thing during the day. Another trick that I learned that I'm doing this trip that I just bought is peppermint oil. If you put a dab of peppermint oil on a washcloth or a wet wipe, just make sure it doesn't get in your eyes, and just sort of dab yourself with it. That's supposed to be very refreshing and feel nice. Ponchos, I told you about. Did I tell you guys? I don't think I packed. Did I mention packing hangers? I don't think that I did. That just jumped out at me. I always pack hangers because mousekeeping never ever has enough hangers in the room, and you can certainly ask for more. But it's just easier. They don't have little kids hangers, so I always like to pack my own hangers. And I always pack little guys' hangers, and we always ship our stuff down. Did I talk about that? I can't remember what I mentioned. I've done this video so many times now. I'm all befuddled. We don't ever check our bags. We always ship all of our stuff down. So that allows me to pack more stuff. It allows me to pack bigger size things. And it saves us a lot of time and energy in the airport. So I think if you can look into shipping your stuff, we ship at UPS Ground third day. And the hotels will absolutely accept it for you. And they will hold it for you. All you have to do is write on the outside of your box, please hold for guest XYZ arriving on date XYZ. And it just makes life so much easier. I'll go into that again when I do the packing, the actual physical packing. You'll see me. Snacks, because my children are horses and don't ever stop eating. And Disney World charges $2.50 for a bottle of water. I prefer to bring as many of my own snacks as I possibly can. And in the parks, I usually pack goldfish. I pack a Ziploc bag of goldfish. The peanut butter crackers. I pack fruit snacks. I have, what else do I usually pack? Ritz crackers, graham crackers, that kind of stuff. So just, little things to keep them tied over. And like I said, we have the water. Sunscreen. Always repack sunscreen. And one of the things I bought for this trip this time were the UV bands that go around your wrist that'll tell you when it's time to reapply your sunscreen. Sunglasses, yes. An umbrella, like I said. Video camera and tapes, yes. If you wear a watch, absolutely bring one, but please take it off for the water rides because I don't want to see your watch get ruined. Wipes or stain fighting pens, if you guys like that kind of thing. I've never used a Tide stick in my life, but whatever. Things that you need to pack for the resort. Bathing suits. Most hotels will offer you beach towels, but if you like to bring your own, by all means. Beach shoes, yes. Some sort of... Not for sanitary reasons, although that's a very good reason to have beach shoes, but more because the sidewalk, the pavement gets incredibly hot, and you don't want your child to do the hot-cold dance as you're walking to and from the pool. What else? Laundry detergent, I mentioned. Night lights. The rooms get very dark at night. And if you're not, because it's not home, it can be disorienting. Your little guy or gal may not know the way to the bathroom. Or you may not know the way to the bathroom. It's happened to me that I've stumbled more than once. So a nightlight is kind of a nice thing to bring to kind of, guide everybody to where they need to be. Swim goggles, if you use them. Absolutely bring trash bags because your room will get messy. And water bottles, like I said. We also pack, the Florida water is nasty and lousy and it tastes horrible. So we also pack those powdered Gatorade packets that they have. They have these little individual Gatorade they also do Propel, I think, and Crystal Light, any of those, Kool-Aid, any of those things. I like Gatorade because it's got the electrolytes in it and it keeps everybody hydrated. Disney World does sell Smart Water. I think it's $3.75 a bottle, and that's the water with the electrolytes in it. So if your kids don't like flavored drinks, mine don't. So if your kids don't like flavored drinks, you can certainly buy them a bottle of Smart Water and split it up between two or whatever. What else? What else do I carry? So what goes into my bag? Like I said, a refillable water bottle, Gatorade packs, camera backup battery for both camera and camcorder, extra memory card, sunblock, Purell, wet wipes, tissues, sunglasses, gum, mints, umbrella, snack, lip gloss, brush, bobby pin, and elastic. And I just, I tend to overcarry in the parks, but I'd rather have, again, too much and too little. The other thing I don't have on here is my umbrella, and I do carry an umbrella everywhere I go. So that kind of sums up what goes where, and I will do this again as I get closer to actually packing my bags, and I will let you see in action what I've got and what goes in. And I'm sure that there are things on this list that I've completely flaked on and forgotten to mention to you that I will remember to mention to you because it will be in my hand. So I hope this is helpful. And my gosh, it's time for me to go get the kids from school. So that's it. Peace out, peeps.